All right, again, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chester's Hot Seat, presented to you by Lost in the Sauce and the Missing Plug. All right, I got my next panel in here, and I'll let them introduce themselves, give a nice brief description about who you are, what you do, where you from.
Start off. I am William Morgan. I'm the councilman for the city of Chester and also the deputy mayor, director of accounts, finance, and human resources for the city.
All right, there we go. All right.
Ralph Dorsey, City of Chester Health Department Outreach Specialist. I'm also the president of Chester Biddy Basketball League.
All righty.
Named Kyle Davis, owner of KC Electrical Services. And I just went through a real bad tragedy.
Yep, my heart go out to you, bro. All right, so we're gonna bring in the chicken wings. All right, and our first flavor we're gonna do is mango pineapple. All right, so that is a sweet mango flavor infused with pineapple with a sweet subtle heat. So you each could grab a chicken wing, bite, and I'll ask you your question. These are all coming out of a hat.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So I got my first question for you all, and I'm gonna start with you, Will. All right. Do you think black people are owed reparations? And if you do, why?
I think black people are owed reparations. Most certainly. I think we kind of are in that time frame right now where it's kind of been really put on the spotlight even more. Obviously, a lot of us are all for reform, and reform has not happened in a lot of areas within the country. Obviously, we have talked about the social injustice. We have talked about the economic support or resources that has not always come to the black community, the black and brown communities. So reparations are most certainly owed or due to us. Not sure how or in what form or fashion that should be given, whether it's monies, whether it's looking at different ways for financial support to make sure that we own our own businesses, we own blocks and things like that within our communities. But things should happen to that form or fashion, most certainly. I agree.
All right, there we go. All right, I'm gonna go to you next, Kyle. What do you think about that?
Reparations is definitely in order. Every other nationality that came here, we were stolen and brought here. So if every other nationality was given reparations in one form or another, we would definitely do some kind of reparations. And again, we were brought here. It wasn't our choice. So we should have, since they stole us from another place and brought us, it seemed like they'd have treated us from the beginning with some kind of dignity as a human being. That's the thing that's being missed with us. We're not even considered human. That's why it's so easy for them to kill us and do what they want. The video camera don't do nothing but just show us what they do us now. That's my opinion.
Yep. Right. All right. For you.
I think it's important that we look at this situation and say, we do belong. You know, we've been here for over 400 years, and we just need to play our part and do what we need to do as far as the outsiders or the other races, you know, accept us more the same way we accept them, and just, you know, be a part of America like everyone else is.
I get you. That's good. That's good. All right. Before I get to the next question, how did y'all like the first chicken wing?
It was all right.
It was all right. There we go. All right.
I thought it was going to be more spicier.
It get hotter. That was the mild question.
Oh.
There we go. All right. So our next sauce is the peri peri sauce. All right, and I'll give a brief description of the peri peri sauce. That's a savory South African flavors infused with herbs and spices with mild heat. All right. So let's go to the next one, and I'll get the I'll start the question. All right. How can we combat trauma in Chester? And I would like to start off with Mr. Davis with this, if I can. How can we combat trauma in Chester?
How can we combat the trauma in Chester? Well, first off, we can't sit and keep waiting for it to accelerate, then say, oh, we need something, we got to do something. We have to do it from the beginning. And truth of the matter, bro, is the criminals know if I do it only in Chester, chances of me getting caught are 0 and none. You have 4 different places that you could accidentally run into. But why the trauma and the killings are not accidentally running into there? That's meticulously thought out. And when the first 4 kids, nowheres in America kids are getting gunned down like this. Nowheres. Nowheres, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I never thought I would be in this seat where I'm at right now, bro, because I did everything to keep my son out of that. And it still trickled down and got me. Snuffed his life out like a dirty dog. Now, instead of his face on a Wheaties box, he's got to be the face of gun violence, laying in the ground somewhere. He can't even enjoy his graduation yesterday, proms to come. Not talking about all the stuff that he was destined to do. It's just heart-wrenching, man. I shouldn't be here. No other parents should be here for their kids under the age of 15. Nowhere in America this is happening. But if it had happened in one of these other little places, they'd have had the National Guard down here kicking in doors and everything. I just don't, somebody needs to explain to me what's the difference in Eddystone, Ridley, Parkside, Trainer, Upland. What's the difference than them in Chester, besides having a black community? I mean, plain and simple, bro, Chester is Mayberry. You shouldn't be able to, you should be able to patrol Mayberry within some kind of, I mean, it's not a major metropolis. Philadelphia, Chicago. We right behind Chicago in murders, man. It's this ridiculous.
Yeah. Everything you said, that was true, definitely. How about you, Will?
The question was how do we combat?
How can we combat trauma in Chester?
I think that I can't pinpoint one as far as prioritizing things. I think there's a few things that we can do better as a community, better as a household, and as a government, most certainly. So I can't say I can put the blame on one more than the other, but a few things that we can do. First of all, I think it starts within the household. I think just having the parents just to open their ears a little bit more, and just sitting down and talking to the kids. I think kids at times they're going through things. They see things on the streets, they see things in the schools, and I think the things that they see on the streets and in the schools are most certainly different from a decade ago or 2 or 3 decades ago, most certainly. So they're dealing with it. They have to deal with it different. And I really believe that the kids they want to disclose some of the things that is hurting them on a day-to-day basis, but they either don't know how to get it out, or they don't know how it's going to be received. And at times, the person that they want to get it out to really doesn't want to receive it, or they don't have the type of advice or support to give it back to them in order for them to kind of monitor it or kind of tame it a little differently. On a government side, I mean, most certainly I believe there are some things we can do, or the government can do better, and not just locally, throughout the county and throughout the state, and obviously with legislation that needs to be passed to get guns and weapons off the streets that are most certainly probably should just only be used for military. And then, like I said, maybe just in the school system, bullying is at an all-time high, I believe, as well, and bullying has kind of done a little difference now. So, like I said, I don't know if I can pinpoint it on one thing, but communication to me is really, really big, and I think it starts in the household. And our peers and the people that say they are leaders and want to be leaders really need to find out how they can just reach their arms out and try and get one child or one individual to be able to speak to and hopefully be able to change the way that they move throughout the day, and hopefully it can kind of trickle down the line.
I like that. All right. And for you as well, how do you think we can combat the trauma in Chester?
And my whole life, I've been seeing trauma and people dealing with trauma. So it's just not the youth that's dealing with it; it's the parents too, and they don't know where to turn to. You know, they don't know who to talk to. So a lot of people are immune to these things that's going on. You know, and I think that, you know, maybe we should start. You know, everybody say this stuff starts at home, but a lot of kids aren't acting up at home. They act up when they get out the house, when they go to school, and when they get around their friends. So if everybody say, you know what, it starts at home, then everybody should start with their own household first and try to get some help to deal with these issues, because, you know, a lot of their fathers have passed away, a lot of their uncles have got killed. It's been going on, you know, my whole life, over 40 or 50 years. This stuff ain't just start. It just started with the kids, you know, getting guns randomly, but they're not buying these guns, you know, and they're getting these guns, you know, from people coming into Chester selling guns for drugs. And the kid might steal it from their uncle or their cousin, or might see somebody in their neighborhood with a gun and see where they hide it at and go steal the gun and don't know what the ramifications is of killing somebody or using that gun. You know, they go to jail and think it's okay, and they don't realize what's going on in their life until they in jail 15 years. You know, I'm talking about a kid 15, 16 years old. They won't know that they got life in jail. They think they're going to get out. Until 15 years they sitting in jail, they start realizing that they're not going to get out, and then they start thinking about getting educated and things like that. So trauma, you know, we're all being hit by this. You know, our grandparents had been hit by this trauma thing. So, you know, there's many programs out of here, but I don't think people want to go and sit down and talk to anybody. They'd rather get on Facebook or talk to their friends about the situations. But a lot of these kids sit at home and see how their parents are crying about the loss of their brothers or their sisters or their uncles or even their fathers. So, you know, that's a big thing that we need to get on with trauma. And it's not only with killing. You know, people get traumatized by, you know, their parents fighting or their father leaving the house and not coming back. It's a lot of things dealing with trauma that really needs to be addressed.
That's good. I like that. All right, so I feel like those are steps we could take, definitely. All right, I got one final question for y'all. Again, I enjoyed y'all answers, and this is, y'all could take the bite of the next wing. This is the spicy question, well, the spicy wing, I could say. And this is La Trinidad, which is Caribbean scorpion pepper blended, fruity tones, and fiery heat. All right.
Y'all supposed to give us some water with this. Y'all bringing the hot.
They told us before we came in.
Have your water.
I think I ate my spicy one first.
All right, so the question I have is, did you vote, and do you think voting actually changes things? I'm gonna start with you, Will.
Yeah, I voted. Yes, I did. Listen, man, you know, obviously, when you look at the history of things, we weren't supposed to. Somebody heard me. So, yeah, for the simple answer, yes, I did vote, and I believe voting is very important. I know that I feel like, obviously, voting, the primary election just passed on Tuesday for Pennsylvania, and prior to that, I was seeing a lot of individuals say, you know, well, I don't know if it was kind of Blackout Tuesday was tied to not going out to vote, but I've seen a lot of people talking about not that they should not go on to vote. They should pretty much just stay in the house. I most certainly think that it is a horrible statement to push out to the people in our communities. If anything, I think over the last 4 years, and probably even, and most certainly even prior to that, I think we've seen that people in certain positions don't do us any good. Things, and even when we're crying out for help, like we have been doing over the last few weeks and decades, of course, they tend to kind of turn their shoulder up against us, as if we're not enough, we're not welcome. So most certainly, I think our ancestors, our people that came before us, put themselves on the line to give us those opportunities to vote, and I'm all about grasping the opportunity when it presents itself. So, you know, like I said, I believe that voting is important. I believe asking and telling people what we need, like as far as these political officials that are running for positions in our districts or in our county or state or federal levels, we need to ask for certain things and put a goal or to be able to attain for them. You know, if we want more money to flow into the to Black and brown communities, then what are we asking for exactly? Where do we want it to go to? Are we asking it for housing? Are we asking for infrastructure? Are we asking it to build buildings to offer jobs and things like that? So I think just having an actual mission with our ask and seeing how they'll kind of be able to respond to it is very important. And again, voting is very important, yes.
All right, there we go. All right, we go straight down the line. Do you think voting is important? I didn't eat the chicken.
Yeah, you know, when I was in school, we had voting, you know, we had classes to talk about, you know, why we should vote and what it meant to vote. But nowadays, it's different. It seems like most of the seniors are voting, but a lot of young people aren't voting, and it's very important for the younger generations to begin to vote, especially as soon as you turn 18, you need to go and find out what you need to do to vote. And a lot of people say, well, this certain person is running, or the certain person, you know, I want to vote for, or somebody I'm not going to vote for. You know, I don't vote for a particular party. I vote for individuals that I think going to help my community and also other communities, and also help the United States overcome some of the things that we need to overcome. So as far as voting, it's very important that we all vote once you turn 18, because it's a right and it's a privilege to vote.
There we go. I agree with that 100%. All right, how about you?
Absolutely, we should vote. Not voting is what got us where we at now. This guy in office, because one person say, oh, my vote don't count. Well, you times that time 1 million people. That's 1 million votes. And besides that, there's people that died for us just to have the right to vote. Not to vote, to have the right to vote. So just on that base alone, we should vote. Because a no vote is just like voting for the opponent that you don't like. And like Ralph said, I didn't vote for President Obama because he was black. I voted for him because he was the right candidate. That's what I was teaching my son. You don't vote for somebody or like somebody because of their skin color. You like them or you vote for them for what they stand for. And if you believe in what they stand for, and it's right, that's who you vote for. It don't matter what color, what party, or nothing, because the plain and simple truth, none of us are born Republicans or Democrats. We're born human beings. So we're supposed to vote with a clear conscience and a clear mind on what's going to be better, what's going to better the whole situation, not just for you, because it's not you're not the only vote. What's going to be better for the multitudes. And voting is very important.
There we go. I like
People
that.
die for that. We need to die. You know, we used to die trying to get educated. We don't even make an effort to get educated no more. We don't even do that. So yeah, voting is important.
There we go. Yes. Again, that is important. Make sure you go out and vote. All right. So I have to wrap this panel up. But again, I want to thank you three gentlemen for coming out and having this conversation. It's something that we need for the culture, but definitely for the city of Chester. So again, thank you all three for coming in. And I'll introduce my next panel.
Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Black, his mama this, his mama that, then he